Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be exploring the many ways that we can create a sacred space and where we can cleanse and purify the space that we're in. So in a previous video, we went through the steps of the heart expansion and creating the sacred container. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and do that first before you watch this video. So there's many ways we can set a sacred space, and it's important to do that because we're infusing our intention not only in our physical environment but also for ourselves. And it's especially important if we're going into an energetic practice of meditation with ourselves, with others, or even if we just want to keep our living environment light and clean, right? It allows the energy to flow more freely. And when we're intentional about this practice, we can it's like cleaning the house, right? Like if you're not sweeping the floors, they eventually accumulate dust. So when we bring in these different ways to keep our space clear and clean, it's like cleaning our house, and it does require some attention. It requires us to kind of give it some light, give it some love on, some kind of basis. It doesn't have to be daily, right? You choose. I think we know when we're really in tune, we can know when our environment starts to feel heavy. But again, it can be really helpful to do this, like if you know you're going to do a session with yourself, and a self-healing session with yourself or somebody else. So step one, and by the way, below this video, you will have a handout with many different ideas and things that you can do to support yourself in clearing your space. So if you want to take notes, that's great, but we'll have some additional information there for you to reference. So step one, I always enjoy beginning with the sacred container and doing the heart expansion exercise that we did in the previous video. Sometimes the go-to is to smudge first. So those two can be kind of interchangeable. And again, there is no right or wrong way to do this, right? Whether you're smudging first or doing your heart expansion first, I think I actually like step one would be to smudge first. So swap those. Okay, so if you haven't played with white sage before, there's many different types of smudging. This is white sage, but there's different kinds of sages. There's cedars, there's juniper, all sorts. Let's see, what's the other one? You can even do lavender. But when we're smudging, we're lighting this and we're bringing the smoke and our intention to clear our environment. Okay, so I'm not going to light this now, just for the sake of us going through the different things in the video. But if I were to light this, I would smudge myself first, asking that my energy be purified, be cleared, be raised to the highest frequency of divine love and light. And again, the heart expansion to me is like the most powerful way to do that. And the smudge just brings the ritual in. Okay, so when we bring a ritual, we bring a ceremony, we bring an intention, and we have something physical to connect with that, it just kind of amplifies the energy. Do we need the smudge? No. Is it a nice thing to have? Yes. Is it kind of like it's like an easy clean, if you will. But intention is definitely your most powerful ally. And this is like a nice to have. Sometimes I don't feel like lighting a whole smudge stick, so I'll just grab a little incense and light that and just be able to set the intention again to clear the space. And I'm just lighting this over here, if you can see. Asking the smoke to assist in keeping my body and the space at the highest vibrational frequency of divine love and light. And I'm going to go ahead and light this one today. Okay, so we can smudge, we can use incense. Those can be found at any metaphysical store or online. I like to use my hands when I'm smudging or using incense, asking again for that to clear any and all non-vibrational or any and all vibrational attachments, any and all entities, anything that is not in alignment with my highest and best good, asking all that is not of the light to return, to go back to the light, and that everything in and around me is purified to the highest frequency of divine love light, highest frequency of bliss, highest frequency of joy, whatever the words are less important, but just bringing the intentions in, bringing the intention in of purity. Okay. So we have our smudging, we have our heart expansion, and then we can bring in all sorts of things like crystals. Let's see, I've got one over here. I'm partial to pyramids for clearing. I feel like they are transmuters of energy and can clear a space really easily. Do you have to have a pyramid? No. But can it be helpful? Sure. So you can grid your room with crystals, and in the handout, I'll include some crystals that are typically utilized to grid your room. So when I say grid, I'm meaning placing crystals in the four corners of your room and creating like a grid line around your room so that you're feeling in this container of light. So you can take the crystals in your hand and put your hand over and ask that these support you in keeping your space clear and clean, and asking the crystals to support you and support the space, and filtering out any and all energies that are not in alignment or not of high vibration. Okay. And again, I'll include what those crystals are in the bottom, or in the handout rather. You don't need all the tools, okay? The crystals, the smudging, the incense, we'll bring some sound in here in a moment, are all wonderful additions to you clearing your space. But that heart expansion and taking your energy out through your room, asking that your energy, your own divine light, which has a purity, can to me is the most powerful way to clear a space. Okay. So are these nice to have? Is the smudging nice to have? Absolutely. But are they necessary? No. I also like to bring in like art or sacred geometry. This is from Suzanne Amara. I like having maybe oracle cards that have a high vibration, or art, depending on what I'm doing. So if I'm doing my own meditation, I might kind of go and look around or maybe pull some cards that have sacred geometry in them, or just have energy in them. This is my favorite deck. So that to me has a lot of beautiful energy in it. So I might pull some cards and lay them around me to create my space. I usually do this when I'm doing a session, and just to bring in the energy of what might be supportive to me or my client. Okay. So we've got our smoke, we've got our crystals, we've got some light codes, and then I like to also just light a candle. And when I light the candle, I got all wobbly. When I light the candle, I'm like, say for instance, I'm gonna do a meditation for myself. I might have intentions. So when I'm lighting the candle, I'm bringing in my intentions for my meditation, or I'm bringing in the intentions for my client. And I might also use the candle as a ritual to like call in any guides, any angels, any master teachers, whatever you're feeling inclined to bring through. You can call in like the elements. So I now ask all the elements of earth, air, fire, water, ether to support me. You might call in Archangel Michael, who assists with keeping energy clear and protection. So the candle just again is that ritual, that little piece that's bringing in your intentions with a form, with something physical, a representation. Okay, then we've got our sound. Sound is a super powerful clearer of spaces. If you don't have a crystal bowl, you don't have to even have anything. You could clap your hands, okay? I've got here a drum, and I've got here my bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and play a crystal bowl. I don't know how great this is gonna sound with the mic, but we'll just do a little bit and see how it goes. And perhaps as I'm holding the bowl, I'm asking that all the energy be raised to that highest vibration, divine love, divine light. Going on for a minute, I love it. Oops, okay. And then similarly to the drum, and again, I'm not sure how this sound is going to translate, but we'll just do a little. Again, another really powerful way. You could walk around your space or your home. It cleared something for me. So I don't want you to get hung up on like, oh my gosh, now I need to go out and get some sound things, or I need to go buy a bunch of smudge or whatever it is. Just play with the heart expansion. Let that be your go-to. The tools are fun, but they're not necessary. They're just different ways that might augment and support you in clearing your space. But know that you are the crystal. You are the sound. You have the intention and the frequency to shift yourself and the environment. And that's the most important. This is just all the fun stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So again, you'll have a handout below with different ways that you can incorporate clearing your space before meditation or session, and play with it. Okay. Doesn't have to be anything. Oh, I have to do it this way this time. You might feel inclined to grab sound one day. You might feel inclined to grab smudge one day, or you might be in a place where those aren't available and you're just going to turn your light up. All right. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you again soon.